Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and guys, I'm here to talk about the card that took place just moments ago, San Diego, California, if I'm not mistaken. Headlined by 130-pound WBO junior lightweight champion of the world, Emmanuel Navarette, against Charley Suarez out of the Philippines. Filipino Olympian, veteran, 18-0 coming in, tremendous fighter himself. The card saw the return of Alan Garcia, at least for me, because prior to this fight on ESPN tonight, he came back after getting flattened by Ricardo Fernandez, a guy who came in with a record of 18 wins, 13 losses. It was a huge upset. You know, Alan Garcia coming into that fight had all the tools to win it, and he got KO'd. Nasty. So he came back, won a fight, and then tonight he defeated Christian Medina. So he's 2-0 since that KO loss. You know, that comeback fight was against Juan Centeno, who was 8-18. More or less the same kind of caliber of a fighter that knocked him out. So he got a decision on that. And then he followed that up with a better record, a better opponent, slightly. 8 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Who came to fight, who was tough, in Christian Medina Garcia. So he won that fight by decision, with a busted nose and all that, but, you know, showed heart and skill and determination, and, you know, he had to come back, man. He had to make sure that what happened last time, but a year ago, don't happen again. And then Giovanni Santan came back. Prior to the comeback tonight, he fought Frederick Lawson and won that fight by TKO in the first round. And then he won tonight against Angel Beltran Villa in a fight that was pretty competitive, tough. Fought a hard punching southpaw in Angel Beltran. And it was competitive. Beltran was landing a lot of left hands straight down the pipe. Santillan's nose was all busted up. But Santillan, with the pressure, body work, and more punches thrown, got the decision in that fight. And now he's back in contention, I guess. So it's good. You know, he was able to win in front of his hometown. Gave the fans a show. Something that Times Square with Turki Al-Sheikh and the Canelo card with Skull needed was missing. And then we got to the co-main event and the main event. The co-main event saw Raymond Murataya, one of Robert Garcia's best fighters in the gym, if not hyped up with a lot of hype. I remember that they would say that he's going to be their next big thing, new world champion eventually, and the night came. He is now the interim IBF champion of the world. And at 135 pounds. And tonight was a really solid performance. I was really impressed because, last couple fights he was not impressive. Especially like against Tevin Farmer. Had a fight or two before that. He did not look impressive. So he's had ups and down performances. Some nights he looked good, some nights he doesn't. But tonight he looked good. Tonight he got the job done. You know, he won a 12-round decision over Zaru Abdullayev from Russia. 12 rounds of just pure boxing skills, pure jabs, excellent counter punching. So Raymond Murataya lived up to his moniker. He lived up to his hype tonight when it all mattered, and that's in a title fight. You know, he stepped up 12 rounds. He looked sharp. The timing was on point, the jab was on point, the counters were on point, and it was one of his most impressive performances. I've criticized Raymond's performances in the past, but tonight was a job well done. He defeated a pretty decent fighter, and now he's IBF champion, interim champion. So Raymond Murataya has accomplished his goal to become world champion, interim champion. Now the goal is to become the guy in the division, like not interim, main champion. And now that he's interim champion, ladies and gentlemen, he can fight the other champions. He can fight the main IBF champion, who is Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing. Lomachenko hasn't fought in about a year or so. And the IBF, I think they're giving him a deadline until October, if I'm not mistaken, to defend his title, to make some sort of defense before they take it away from him. And now that Raymond Munataya is the interim IBF champion, and the champion is Lomachenko, who hasn't fought in over a year, so yeah, top rank, unsure if Lomachenko fights again as IBF deadlines loom for lightweight champion. So there are discussions for a return in July of this year. But Lomachenko hasn't fought for a minute, and it's so he hasn't fought in such a minute that I even forgot he was champion, that he has a title. So here it is. The IBF spokesperson told the ring that Lomachenko has to make a title defense by October 8th. If he does not, then they obviously strip him of his title, which makes Raymond the main champion, which will make Raymond Murataya the full champion. But we're in May, June, July, August, September, October. I think Murataya will be back by then. If not, then that will be Raymond Munataya's opportunity to become the guy, the main champion, not interim, the main IBF champion. So yeah. But all in all, guys, you got Keyshawn Davis, you got Shakur Stevenson, and you got Giovanni Davis as champions for Raymond Murataya. But of course, the guy that he's supposed to fight is Lomachenko, who is holding up the IBF title for almost a year. So something needs to happen on that. Now the main event, which ended in controversy, Emmanuel Navarette versus Charley Suarez in a tremendous back and forth war. I saw a really tough fight for Emmanuel Navarette coming in, because not only Suarez was an Olympian, he was an excellent counterpuncher, excellent boxer off his back foot, and excellent timing. And he has decent power, decent speed, throws straight shots like Pacquiao at times. But Emmanuel Navarette struggled to make weight coming in. He had multiple times. He got up on the scale multiple times before he was finally able to make the weight. And that takes a toll on your body. So I saw an opportunity for Suarez to take advantage of. Okay, so Navarette made weight, but he struggled. Here comes an Olympian, an excellent boxer with counterpunching skills, excellent timing, undefeated. And I saw and felt that Suarez had a chance to beat Navarette tonight. And it did not go as planned, because the fight was stopped due to a cut. Now, we all thought it was a headbutt, but it was not a headbutt. It was actually due to multiple replays that the cut was caused by a punch, a straight left hand, not straight left hand, but a looping left hand shot, overhand left, right on the eyebrow, right over the eyebrow of Navarrete. And as the punch landed, Navarrete's skin tore. And everybody, prior to the controversy, oh, it was a headbutt. Da, 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 da. Yes, a headbutt occurred, but it happened like a second after the punch. The last replay showed after the decision was made that right after the punch landed, the cut happened. Right after. So instead of a technical decision in favor of Navarrete, this fight was supposed to be a TKO win for Charley Suarez, meaning new. But, boxing is famous and full of controversies. So it is what it is. Navarrete retains his title and gives Charley Suarez a bitter end, because Charley Suarez deserved this win, deserved to become champion. He won the fight by landing a punch and causing a cut. When a fight is stopped due to a punch from the opponent, and it's a big cut, and the fighter can't continue, and the referee waves it up, it's a TKO. But if it's a headbutt, they go to scorecards, which they did. But they kept saying it was from a headbutt. Then now, after the decision was made, they saw that it was a cut. It was a punch from a cut from a punch. So it is what it is. Navarrete retains the title in a not so satisfying way. And Charley Suarez, all he can do is hope for a rematch, or they might do a no decision, a no contest, and have them run it back. So yeah, just want to come out here and talk to you guys about the event moments ago that just happened. Raymond Murataya defeating Zahur Abdullayev to become interim IBF champion. Hopefully Lomachenko will defend his title against him. And Emmanuel Navarette retaining his WBO 130-pound title over Charley Suarez, by technical decision, in a very controversial ending. In a pretty good fight prior to that. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host and crew. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.